Okay, interview with Gary Setchell. At the end of pre-season and the start of the 2022-23 campaign, Gary, we're all set to go. It's been an interesting summer, but fundamentally, it's all systems go, isn't it?
Yeah, for some of them. Obviously, that's been probably the most difficult pre-season for me since I've been in management. Just injuries, just injury after injury. Obviously, we've had more lads going away than what I would have liked as well, and that definitely won't be happening next season. Even tonight there we've got six with Nat and 3 with Jazzy, which isn't ideal, and about 8 or 9, 10, 11 training. So that's been tough. I think the first few games are going to be challenging, but the 11 we put out on the pitch will be all first team players and all ready to give 100% for the football club.
How has pre-season gone? Because it was a little bit disjointed at times, games being moved around all over the place for different reasons. So how have you found it?
Tough, hard. Off-season was hard. A lot of players wanting a lot too much money. We've had a great team sitting in that office there, but couldn't get them over the line just to wage demands, that's the nature of the beast. Last year we probably had the best budget and managed to win the league, and this year we've probably not got a top half budget, and it's been difficult to get players over the line. But that's a totally different challenge for us this year. And pre-season's been difficult. We've played some really good teams. We've spent a lot of time without the ball. We spent a lot of time picking the ball out the back of the net. We ain't scored enough goals, but a lot of that is due to the level of the opposition and due to the injuries. And we know when we get our best players fit and available that we'll be competitive in this division.
And what about obviously the lads that have moved on? You had Lewis Michio to Oxford City, your Walks to FC Romania, and Rene this week to Ware. Presumably you wish them all the best, and they leave with our best blessing.
Yeah, Rene definitely couldn't do the travelling. I was even tapping into him last week, just saying, look, if you could we do something basically, but he's got a job now where he works Saturday mornings. He can't leave. I think that's Hemel or somewhere till 11 o'clock. We're leaving for Birmingham at 11 o'clock Saturday, so just non-practical. Dan just wanted more regular football. I think Romania might have fell through. I think he might end up at Real Bedford. I was talking to him again this week. All great lads. And Lewis Michio's done exactly what he wanted to do. He wanted to come here and do well and then move higher up the pyramid. For me, he could have stayed another year with us. He earned the right, but he's jumped up to another level, and we wish him all the best. I think there's 1 or 2 others gone probably. Can't think off the top of my head, but whoever's left, we wish them all the best. And we've brought in some good signings. They're going to take time to blend in, but we've had to go a bit younger as well. Obviously, we lost Rory, didn't we?
I wasn't going to mention that.
Due to unfit.
Zach Brown, Sean Keane.
Well, Sean's injured at the minute,
right?
So he's not completely dead, but obviously he's miles behind everyone at the minute. But we've made some good signings. And we can only judge it, after 10, 12 games. And if we need to make some adjustments, just like I did last year, then I'll make the adjustments. But I trust my judgment. And like I say, again, that's when we get our best players fit and well, not injury free, fit, because some of them missed a large chunk of pre-season. So we are probably going to be playing a little bit of catch up. But my teams always give maximum effort. They will be doing that. Whether that's good enough or not, we'll have to wait and see. But I'm sure, we'll give some great entertainment this year. I'm sure we'll take 1 or 2 hidings along the way, and I'm sure we might give 1 or 2. So that's going to be a lot different prospect than last season. For me, last season there was, if I'm being honest, probably 20 kick-ins for us. If we turned up and done it right, I think there was that many games that we would win if we played properly, and we did. And this year there's probably no kick-ins for us, and every point we earn is going to have to be earned the hard way.
Stratford, start on Saturday. As you just said, it's that old cliche that gone up a level, so it's no easy game.
Yeah.
Where they finished last year proves that it'll be a difficult test, but not the hardest test we could have had potentially.
Probably not, but away from home against an established Step 3 side, it'd be difficult. They got some. I know a few of their players from when I was manager at this level before. They got some good players. They got a good manager. The pitch would be like carpet, as it always is. And it's going to be difficult. I see this week the bookies' favourites to go down, 80 to 1 to win the league, and third worst in the bookies' eyes, the experts' eyes, so to speak. So look, we've got to establish ourselves. We've got to get to where Stratford are. We've got to get ourselves an established step 3 team. They've been at step 3 now, I think 4 or 5 years. They come step 5, step 4, step 3, roughly the same time I did at King's Lynn, and they've stayed there. So, you know, we've got to get to that level. You know, a lot of people say, oh, we'll go back to that. That's unrealistic. A lot more teams go yo-yo than what they do back-to-back. So we've just got to keep our feet on the ground, work as hard as what we are as a football club behind the scenes, you know, myself and my coaching staff, and most of all the players. And if we do, we can establish ourselves as a step 3 side over the next year, 18 months, and then, you know, maybe we can be in a position where we're pushing for the, you know, for promotion again, which is the aim. You know, that's the aim, but that's not easy to do. You look at Royston, for example, just as an example. They've been in this division, I don't know, 5, 10 years with very, very good budgets, and, you know, I don't think they've made the playoffs too many times, maybe once or twice when COVID hit, but, you know, and they're a very good side. So it's going to be difficult, but it's a challenge we're facing head on. It's a challenge that we're going to enjoy, and like I say, when we put our best foot forward, we'll be a good match for most teams at this division. 2
big games in Barwell and Tamworth to start the home campaign off, isn't it?
Yeah, Tamworth are one of the fancy teams. I know Petey, I know a lot of the players he signed. Again, you know, they're probably looking for promotion this year, if I'm being honest. They're established at sort of step 2 level and step 1 level over the years. And Barwell is probably a club like us. You know, they know if everything goes right, they can get in the top half, but they also know that there'll be a lot of teams, you know, above them who they got to really work hard for the points. So, you know, that's not an easy start for us, but it's not, you know, the hardest start that we could have had. It's not the easiest start, and we could have had. It's just a mixed bag. So 2 away, 2 at home. After 4 games, we'll know roughly where we're at and what we've got to do. But like I say, the league always takes shape after 10, 12 games.
So what you're saying then is, in terms of the target, is get to that 46-point mark, the magical step 3 safety mark, and then go from there.
Well, listen, I'd be disappointed if we were struggling to get 46 points. You know, I'd feel that we're better than that. I feel that, you know, but last year you didn't need. If you look at the division last year, you didn't need much more than 20 more points than the relegation mark to be pushing the playoffs. So if everything fell right for us, you know, could we get on a little run and, you know, push hard? Of course we can. Every team, you know, we're not defeatists. We're not going in the league just to stay in it. We're going in the league to build on the base we put last year with getting promotion. We had a 2-year plan to get promotion. We've done it in 1, obviously 2 if you count COVID, but we've done it in 1. And we've got to put something in place where we can establish ourselves as a step 3 side, and then build each year towards, you know, the playoffs and getting promotion.
Last year there was an immense amount of togetherness with the squad, the fan base. That togetherness grew. How important is that in step 3 as well?
Key for me. It's key. That's what I try and do, certainly with the players. We've had a little turnaround in players this year because various situations that we went into at the start. But that dressing room will be together by the end of this week, start of next week. That'll be together because I say we've got to have it. And you know, the fans have got to be with us. I think at any football club, if the fans can see the manager and the players giving maximum effort every single week, you automatically grow that bond with the players. If they see a load of fancy Dans, you know, walking around and not wearing the heart on the sleeve, you know, they're right to voice their opinion. But I can guarantee that these boys will be giving everything they got, whether it's good enough, whether it's not good enough. You know, we'll see, but we'll make the changes if necessary. But everyone who pull on the shirt this year has got to give us maximum effort.
Injury worries for Saturday?
A lot of injury worries. That's not even the injury worries. That's the chunk of time they've missed out of pre-season. So, you know, Callum played Saturday. He's injury free, but he's not fit. Well, not as fit as he could be. Obviously, who's the same? He might be fit Saturday, but he's not going to be as fit as he could be. DS and Charlie are going to play tomorrow night to get some match fitness for Wisbeach.
They're suspended anyway, of course.
Yeah, they're suspended, but they can play step 5, so they're going to get a couple of games with them while they're suspended to get some match sharpness. Butts is another one who's a fit boy but missed a large part of pre-season. I think he got injured in the Barnet game, second game. Jack Keeble's another one, he got injured in the Barnet game. Connor's got a little hip flex tonight, so he's having a night off. So there's plenty for us to think about. You know, we've pulled in a lad from Barnet, Sam Granville, to help us for a month in midfield. He's got good legs, played 10-15 conference games last year, so he'll be more than capable at this level. And you know, we Kai Phelan as well, dead leg, Macca as well. So we've got plenty of things, and you know, that's the challenge of football. Last year we had it all our own way, and we made the most of it, and we made hay while the sun shine. And this year, you know, we'll perhaps have to bite down on the gum shield at times as a football club and really dig in. But like I say, as long as the boys are given the effort and endeavour that I expect from the teams when they cross the white line, then we'll be a hard team to beat.
Last year, so you know, everyone will expect you to say Bedford.
Yeah.
But you know, let's say we can't get promoted to win the league.
Yeah.
Who's going to win the league? Who is your one to watch outside of us?
I think the ones, obviously, I'm a bit of a geek, so I look at everyone else's signings and stuff like that. You know, Ilkeston have made some, you know, massive signings. They've signed a few players from Buxton who won step for Northern Prem last year. So, you know, Russell apparently have gone full time, so surely if you train every day, that's got to help you. And Nuneaton have made some eye-catching signings as well, and obviously Tamworth. You know, Peaksey's been in this division a little while now, and he's obviously got a bigger budget than he had at Ruston, so he'll use that well. But I think the bookies' favourites have gone with Ilkeston, so the signings they've made, you'd have to look at them as the ones with the target on the back, as we was last year.
Finally,
yeah.
How many goals for Tyrone, Brooksy, and Laithwaite throughout the season?
Between the three of them,
Yeah.
Tomlinson.
Let's not single them out as who's going to be top scorer. We know they all will be. But, who do you think? How many do you think they'll get in total?
Between them, I don't know. You know, you'd like to think between them they'd get. You know, that's a different level. I think the top scorer in the league last year, I think he only got 23. Like I say, there ain't going to be no Colney Heaths where you get 3 or 4 hat-trick or wantage, 8-1. There ain't going to be none of that. So we go, you know, if we hit 100 goals this year, I'll be very surprised. But no, you'd like to think the strikers between you, if they could get 30, 40 between them, possibly. Obviously, they'll set the targets at 20 each, no doubt, or 15 each. But we got a lot of goals from midfield as well last year, as well as set pieces. We shared the goals around. Obviously, Rennie got the long share, but obviously he got penalties as well. So I don't know. I think if you get anyone in around the 20 mark, that'd be a real good haul for us and stand us in good stead.
Sleep well on Friday night?
Never sleep well the night before this year. I didn't sleep well last year before we beat Warford 5-0 up at half time. But yes, that's a nice sort of nervousness. You know, if I didn't get nervous, I shouldn't be doing the job. That's part of the job. If I weren't worried about the opposition, that wouldn't be part of the job. If I weren't worried about the injuries or the fitness of some of the lads. The only thing that worried me is that obviously with what we built last year was the expectation level, and that's something we've got to manage, because like I say, we're not going to just wallop teams like we did last year. We're not going to be free in about 10 minutes like we was against Waltham and Romania and Wantage, and we ain't going to score 15 against one team this year like we did Wantage last year. So we just got to manage the expectation. But I think the Perth football fan this year will really enjoy the competitiveness of the games, because I think each game will be no quarter asked or given. I think they'll be close games, so I think that'll be a real edge of your seat time. And I think the standard of football will be a lot better. I think certainly from the opposition it'll be a lot better than it was last year. And I think we'll see 1 or 2 special players as well, because there's always 1 or 2 at step 3 floating about, then go get the move. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to my players testing themselves against better players. I'm looking forward to testing myself against better managers. And I'm looking forward to see if this football club can get to the next level over the next 2, 3, 4 years.
Gary, thank you once more for achieving the goal of last year. It has been 8 very long years, but Step 3 football is coming back to the Erie. We're on a coach on Saturday to Stratford. Get yourself there. Otherwise, Twitter for updates, and we see you here for Barwell, Tamworth and Royston all through August. You can get those tickets now at bedfordeagles.net.